Hello everyone, can you hear me? We will go ahead and have our another live stream with one of our friends from Educate AI, IO. He is James, so he will be discussing intermediate sales training. So it is going to be very helpful since we will be, discovering the way to handle objections. So before that, since we are still waiting for James to come in, we'll go ahead and watch my video for the Sales Masterclass introduction.
A beautiful and amazing day to everyone. Thank you so much for the continuous support. And with that, I have created the masterclass for sales. This is something very expensive when you go ahead and enroll online. And this is basically a gift for everyone because I know that some of us are eyeing on getting into the sales world. It is not an easy niche or skill to master, but with this masterclass, you'll be able to learn certain key points and skills that you can always acquire when you get into the sales job. Okay. And sales isn't just a job, it's a journey that can lead you to financial freedom or will leave you burnt out. It what makes the difference, helping you choose the right path for you. I'm glad you asked, because this is an idea worth sharing. Shalom everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Ideas Worth Sharing, where we provide you help in elevating your career, applying for jobs, interview tips, leadership skills, and all other things needed for you to be able to earn and start a career. We have created playbooks and trainings for leadership, sales, for free for everyone. So subscribe to our channel and help us grow and help others succeed. This is your host, Angela. Welcome. Thank you. Welcome to my YouTube channel again. Don't forget to subscribe and share this sales masterclass to anyone who is interested. So we will go ahead and discuss the sales arena. Sales is very dynamic, much like a sport with different games, rules, and strategies. You need to understand which game best fits or best suits you. So I will guide you through the three main dimensions of sales ecosystem in this masterclass. This is things that you need to understand because these are the fields that you will go ahead and choose and work on. The first one is remote versus in-person sales. We will also be discussing the B2B versus B2C sales and the high ticket versus low ticket sales. So ladies and gentlemen, those sales aspirants, when we do remote sales, which is basically one of the things that we will be first discussing, this is where they basically have learned remote sales offer higher income potential, higher ceiling, and location freedom. You're speaking to prospects who already know what they're looking for. It's just about adding value and sealing the deal. Well, in-person sales it may lack the freedom of remote work. They excel most on relationship building. So this is the in-person sales. Basically, you are meeting personally your client. It's personal. It's about longer connections in a relationship, and it may suit those who thrive in office environments. The key takeaway is that your preference for interactions and lifestyle should guide your choice. Always remember that. Next is B2B and B2C sales. We often hear and see this specific B2B or B2C sales, and sometimes we're confused. What does it mean? So B2B is business to business. So it's all about logic, numbers, profit margins, efficiency. It's a world of concrete logic where the skill of your argument can make or break a deal. Again, the strength of your argument can make or break a deal in B2B or business to business sales. You're selling a roadmap from point A to Z. Well, B2C is meaning it's business to customer. So directly to customer. Business to customer is the emotional arena. It's about breaking down disbelief, creating emotional buy-in, and addressing pain points directly. When you sell in a B2C space, you're not just offering a product. Remember, you're also offering a transformation in B2C or business to customer. Next is high ticket versus low ticket sales. When we talk about high ticket sales, the stakes are really high. 10K and above, it's for experience. Those who don't shy away from long sales cycles and higher resistance, those experts in sales. And it's complex, but it's rewarding for those who love a big payoff after a long, with those people who have very huge goal, right? Well, low ticket sales is less expensive, less complex, and faster. Perfect for starting in sales for those who started. It offers more opportunities for repetitions, learning, and rapid improvement. This is basically where I started also. This arena as it gives more control over outcomes and instant gratification. Next is very important, finding your fit. So we ask, Kendall, how can I know which one best is for me? I'm glad you asked. So at the end of the day, it's not about the right or wrong. It's about the alignment. Which type of sales aligns your strengths and preferences? Understanding these ecosystems will help you find the business that needs someone like you. So I appreciate everyone who has been very supportive with our, masterclass. There are already videos available for our live stream with Scott, one of the sales manager who actually helped us in diving deep in with sales. So let me go ahead and share to you the three takeaways, and you can go ahead and watch those live streams. You can go.
So we are already live with our third guest for this masterclass. He is a sales expert. He is one of the key components of the sales team of Iman. So he will be discussing intermediate sales. So he is James. So let's just wait for him to come in. I think he is already live. And he is with several people, guys. There. Just wait for him. Hello.
Not bad, not bad. Hello, everybody. We're back. Educated. Richard, what's up, bro? Chris. No such thing as a change, man. What's up, brother? The boss is back. The boom is back. Educated is back. Looking fresh. Sure, you know too well. Abdallah back in action. Abdallah, can you do your usual? Can you make a post in ANSFS or I'm Panda Prophet saying that we are live? Johan, what's up, bro? Yeah, sure, my man. I don't expect it to be too many on this call since we're just back from New Year's, but Sophia, what's up? Since we're just back from New Year's, two Sophias, Happy New Year, amen. Sophia, Happy New Year to you too. Hope Colombia is treating you well, or wherever in the world you're at. Maybe we should get some tunes going. My first call you, bro. Adam, what's up, man? To the country. Look at the view from our new apartment. Look at that mountain in the background. Oh, you can't even see properly. Huh? Doesn't do justice. Wow. Maybe. Oh, it doesn't even do it justice. That mountain is just crazy. No such thing as a mind that's better than yours. 40 in. Let's wait till we get to 50. Which place? This is long for the Ireland. No, it's Marbella in Spain. Marbella. Porto Venus. No such thing, no such thing. No such thing as a life that's Masood. Awesome. Alexis, what's up? Natasha. Happy New Year to you too. Any resolutions? I know you probably do, Sophia. Any big resolutions? Anyone making any big changes or wanting to make any big changes this year? I know myself, I am going completely sober this year is my goal to myself. Completely sober is my non-negotiable. I have some non-negotiables. The Bible, reading the Bible back to front is a non-negotiable. So it says 3 pages a day. I'm reading 5 pages a day at the moment or more of the Bible. 75 hard, which I'm doing right now. We're about to go sign up to our first gym session here this evening after this call, and yeah, go completely sober as well. So dialing in. How's the form, Adam? Flying, bro. Flying. And you? I want to hear some big resolutions, though. Seriously, Adam, what's your resolution to yourself? I don't know where. Hello. Publishing my first book. Crazy. I'll give it a read. Only get 12% body fat. Nice. What's that mean, George? I don't even know what that means. And lean. What would you be body fat?
Probably 12% when you get there.
I'm probably about 40 right now. Find your purpose and passion. Very, very nice. I think everyone's purpose should be to be the best version of themselves, and your passion should be like your work. But your purpose, my purpose, which I found works the best. I always ask myself the question, like, why are we here? Like, why are we on this world? In this world, and I always come back to like we should be in the best possible version of ourselves every single day, and then through that we should find our passion. Do I live in Cape Town? No, I live in Marbella. Be more focused on work out and read more. Yeah, reading is huge. Ted, what's up, Ted? Heard you're smashing it recently. Ted, you're a student, correct? Woo! Woo! George says the secret to success is zins. It's nuts. Yeah, we can't say that. I don't know, we're only joking. Yeah, they won't do it because I told them not to.
Just read the Bible.
Yeah. Okay, where my family originally is Ireland. Good to see you, George. My boy George.
Team gold members in that.
Any team gold members in this call? George is asking. No. Not me, Johan Klemperer. Ted Christoph Trezik. The boys are backing down.
You're actually going to coach.
No, I will coach. I'm just waiting for the rest to join. Team Mercury. I'm from Ireland. Where are you from? Sorry, I know world travel. Try to world travel. It's crazy. You're coming to Spain in 2 weeks. Where, Ted? Where? Murcia. I have no idea where that is. to be honest with you. Shaping my body to the best version since God has been very nice. Go to the USA, I get some knowledge, formulate my beauty line, the final goal. Fantastic. South as well. Well, if you're in Marbs, if you're in Malaga, let me know and we'll organize something for sure. Right, team, let's hop into the actual coaching itself. It's obviously our first call back, so I kind of want to get a general consensus. I knew from the hiring side. No, we're definitely not hiring for a while, quite a while, to be honest. George, how was Longford? Someone asked. Ted. It was amazing. Yeah, so I want to get a general consensus of where everyone is at right now. What our main goals would be from this call and the coaching kind of going forward. What you guys kind of want to focus on in the sales process. So feel free to shoot some comments in the chat and let me know where everyone's at and what the main focus you feel like should be for going forward. Because we've obviously covered a lot last year in regards to sales. I feel like we covered pretty much every part of the sales call. But where would you guys like to focus in the sales call? I'm going to direct the call towards that direction. I'm going to post some Google Docs in as well. How to make a sales call more natural and not salesy? Great question. Free-handling objections. Great question. Okay. More natural and not salesy completely comes down to tonality and avoiding script as much as possible, but framework, okay? And when I say framework, I don't mean like your call goes in blocks, okay? So it shouldn't clearly be occurrence if you just say gap, opportunity cost, and so on. It should all flow and connect. So the biggest thing I can say to have it be more natural is avoid making it look like you're jumping from one thing to another and try and make it all connect. So before I go into future state, I ask a question about, okay, how much you earn and what your work right now? Okay, I'm making 5, 6, 7K. I'm making 2 or 3K a month, let's say. Okay, and I'm like, fantastic. Okay, so if we're on the thing of finances right now, let's say like 6, 8, 12 months down the line, what do you feel like you want to be at where this is a success or something? So try direct questions to where they correlate and so on. Another tip I had in my mind right there. Okay, another tip for not sounding salesy, please write this down, is avoiding the obvious questions. What's that called? The obvious statements? It's called, there's like a word for it. A word for where you're not asking. A word for where you're mixing it up. Someone in here help me. Someone here knows. No, I know you're saying cliche, but pattern interruption. Yeah, pattern interruption. Okay, so everyone sees on YouTube and on Facebook and all these different things advertisements for like, oh, in 6 months' time, and you see 6 months, you always see 6 months, you always see 10K a month. Okay, you always see these big numbers. If you ask these numbers, so where are you going to be in 6 months' time? They've heard that question or they've seen them things a million times. So avoid using stuff like 6 months or 10K a month. So I always say like, where would you want to be in like 7 or 8 months' time, or where would you want to be in 11 months? It's like pattern interruption to where it actually makes everything, where it's not just a general question. Does that make sense, right? Because a lot of people fall into the trap of sales where they're like, okay, we're going to be in 6 months' time. And if they've ever been in a sales call before, they've heard it before. Okay. So always mix up your questions to what the generic basic question would be. Okay. And that's the number one tip I could give to you to come away from the salesy point of view. And going with the intention of generally helping is another one as well. Pre-handling objections. Okay. But pre-handling objections all comes down to discovery questions. Okay. So for example, so typical objections, let's kind of go into it, would be time. So I don't know if I have the time is always prevalent or could always kind of come up. So that's something that you don't want to. Okay, so that's something that you want to avoid when you come to the pitch and you're like, okay, you ready to rock, or okay, does that all make sense? You ready to go? And it's like, oh, I don't know if I have the time. Okay. Asking someone here in the chat, what do you feel like you can ask to avoid that circumstance at the very end? And then I'll kind of address it after. Yeah, Adam, I think so. I always like kind of have a script there in case I kind of zone out and get lost and have to rely on something, but generally just focus on your main objectives and questions. Yeah, is this a priority for you right now? Great question. Okay, let's share my screen and let's kind of go over it. We'll do a blank document. Okay. Objection prevention. This is fun actually. Okay. Share screen. Okay. Objection prevention. So time objection. Well, first of all, we say why we do this. We do objection prevention by asking the right questions in discovery to avoid having to handle this objection after we pitch our offer. Okay, so time objection. Ted had a good one. You'd ask the question, is this a priority for you right now? Don't ask these questions like back to back to back to back. It has to be certain parts of the call. So is this a priority for you right now? Is a good one to ask. Yeah, I'll post it in the feed. I think, huh? Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, like how much pain is it causing you at the moment? Is one from George. What I like to do personally is actually reverse that. So say like, to be honest, man, like we guarantee the results basically. We know what we can do, but we do need minimum 8 hours. Like kind of give something on the lower end. We do need minimum 8 hours a week. Something that they definitely obviously can do. That they obviously 100% can do. So we guarantee results of like X, Y, Z. But the minimum that we would need commitment wise from a company to actually get these results is like 6 to 8 hours a week. That's something that is possible for you. Okay, it's a good way of reframing the question because you're not asking for their time in a way of like, okay, like how much time do you have? And then you're saying, okay, yeah, we can do that. We can do that. You're saying like, I only have this amount of time. I know I can get these results. What time can you dedicate this time? Because this is the average time that we see to get the results. Okay, so I'd ask the question like, so you've probably given your, okay, so let me see. How do I get man? How do I get rid of this fucking text? This like font. Huh? A. What the hell's A? Oh, here. No. No.
Oh, where it says normal text. That's font.
Huh?
Normal text to the left.
Oh, sometimes. Right. Normal text.
Area next to it, where it says aerial.
Yeah.
That's font.
That's font. Someone in the chat probably knows. Can someone tell me how to get rid of this? Next to A.
I said change the font.
Huh? Not the font, man. I'm not talking about font. Jeez. I'll leave it. Someone told me last week, but I forgot. Oh my God. Okay, I'd ask that question later after future state, because you want to make sure that they want to get these results. Okay, and then so like they give you a result, they give you your pain points and current state, like what they're struggling with right now and so on. They're desperate to get this result. Okay, so our average client is seeing XYZ result in 30 days. That's just the average client, to be honest. We guarantee this result, but the minimum that we require from your side is 60 hours. Okay, that's something that you're willing to make work to see the results. Okay, you're holding the authority in that question. Does that make sense? So you always in the driving seat. You never want to be begging or be asking for them to do you a favor. But that just makes you look like you're in the driving seat. You guarantee the results, but can they guarantee their time? Okay, so I'd ask that question that way. Press the pen, then tap the pen and then none. Yes, we got it. Nice voice. And girls. Okay. That was it, man. Yes, I want attention to where everyone is at right now. What our main goals would be from calling the coaching kind of going forward. What you guys can want to focus on in the sales process. So feel free to shoot some comments in the chat and let me know where everyone's at and what the main focus you feel like should be going forward. Because we've obviously covered a lot last year in regards to sales. I feel like we covered pretty much every part of the sales call. But where would you guys like to focus in the sales call? I'm kind of direct the call towards that direction. I'm going to post some Google Docs as well. How to make a sales call more natural and not salesy? Great question. Free handling objections. Great question. Okay. More natural and not salesy completely comes down to tonality and avoiding script as much as possible, but framework. Okay. And when I say framework, I don't mean like your call goes in blocks. Okay. So it shouldn't clearly be the current if you just say gap, opportunity cost, and so on. It should all flow and connect. So the biggest thing I can say to have it be more natural is avoid making it look like you're jumping from one thing into another and try to make it all connect. So before I go into future state, I ask a question about, okay, how much are you earning with your work right now? Okay, I'm making 5, 6, 7K. I'm making 2, 3K a month, let's say. Okay, and I'm like, fantastic. Okay, so if we're on kind of thing of finances right now, let's say like 6, 8, 12 months down the line, what do you feel like you want to be at where this is a success or something. So try direct questions to where they correlate and so on. Another tip I had in my mind right there. Okay, another tip for not sounding salesy, please write this down, is avoiding the obvious questions. What's that called? The obvious statements? It's called, there's like a word for it. A word for where you're not asking, a word for where you're mixing it up. Someone in here help me, someone here knows. No, I know you're saying cliche, but pattern interruption. Yeah, pattern interruption. Okay, so everyone sees on YouTube and on Facebook and all these different things, advertisements for like, oh, in 6 months' time, and you see 6 months, you always see 6 months, you always see 10K a month, okay? You always see these big numbers. If you ask these numbers, so where are you going to be in 6 months' time? They've heard that question or they've seen them things a million times. So avoid using stuff like 6 months or 10K a month. So I always say, like, where would you want to be in like 7 or 8 months' time? Or where would you want to be in 11 months? It's like pattern interruption where it actually makes them think, where it's not just a general question. Does that make sense, Redmond? Because a lot of people fall into the trap in sales where they're like, okay, and we're going to be in 6 months' time. And if they've ever been in a sales call before, they've heard it before. Okay? So always mix up your questions to what the generic basic question would be. Okay? And that's the number one tip I could give to you to come away from the salesy point of view. And going with the intention of generally helping is another one as well. Pre-handling objections. Okay. But pre-handling objections all comes down to discovery questions. Okay. So for example, some typical objections, let's kind of go into it, would be time. So I don't know if I have the time is always prevalent or could always kind of come up. So that's something that you don't want to. Okay, so that's something that you want to avoid when you come to the pitch and you're like, okay, you ready to rock? Or okay, does that all make sense? You ready to go? And it's like, oh, I don't know if I have the time. Okay, asking someone here in the chat, what do you feel like you can ask to avoid that circumstance at the very end? And then I'll kind of address it after. Yeah, I think so. I always like kind of have a script there in case I kind of zone out and get lost and have to rely on something, but generally just focus on your main objectives and questions. Yeah, is this a priority for you right now? Great question. Okay, let's share my screen and let's kind of go over it. I'll do blank documents. Okay. Objection prevention. This is fun actually. Share screen. Okay. Objection prevention. So time objection. Well, first of all, we say why we do this. We do objection prevention by asking the right questions in discovery to avoid having to handle this objection after we pitch our offer. Okay, so time objection. Ted had a good one. You'd ask the question, is this a priority for you right now? Don't ask these questions like back to back to back to back. It has to be certain parts of the call. So is this a priority for you right now? Is a good one to ask. Yeah, I'll post it to the feed. I think, huh? Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, like how much pain is it causing you at the moment? Is one from George. What I like to do personally is actually reverse that. So say like to be honest, man, like we guarantee the results basically. We know what we can do, but we do need minimum 8 hours. Like kind of give something on the lower end, but we do need minimum 8 hours a week. Something that they definitely obviously can do, that they obviously 100% can do. So we guarantee results of like X, Y, Z. But the minimum that we would need commitment-wise from a company to actually get these results is like 6 to 8 hours a week. That's something that is possible for you. Okay, it's a good way of reframing the question because you're not asking for their time in a way of like, okay, like how much time do you have? And then you're saying, okay, yeah, we can do that. We can do that. You're saying like, I only have this amount of time. I know I can get these results. What time can you dedicate this time? Because this is the average time that we see to get the results. Okay, so I'd ask the question like,
100.
so you've probably given your, okay, so let me see. How do I get rid of this fucking text? This like font. Huh? A. What has A? Oh, here. No. No.
Oh, where it says normal text. That's one.
Huh?
Normal text to left.
Oh, some blind. Right. Normal text.
Area next to it, where it says 𝐼𝐬𝐬𝐿.
Yeah.
That's font.
That's font. Someone in the chat probably knows. Can someone tell me how to get rid of this? Next to A.
I said change the font.
Huh? Not the font, man. I'm not talking about font. Jeez. We'll leave it. Someone told me last week, but I forgot. Oh my God. Okay, I'd ask that question later after future state because you want to make sure that they want to get these results. Okay. And then, so like they give you a result, they give you your pain points and current state, like what they're struggling with right now and so on. Then they're desperate to get this result. Okay, so our average client is seeing XYZ result in 30 days. That's just the average client, to be honest. We guarantee this result, but the minimum that we require from your side is 60 hours. Okay, that's something that you're willing to make work to see the results. Okay, you're holding the authority in that question. Does that make sense? So you always. In the driving seat, you never want to be begging or be asking for them to do you a favor. But that just makes you look like you're in the driving seat. You can guarantee the results, but can they guarantee their time? Okay, so I'd ask that question that way. Press the pen, then tap the pen, and then none. Yes, we got it. Nice voice. And girls. It's always different. Yes, I wasn't even looking at the chat. I was on the page. I clicked on the person black pen. Okay, sorry. Everyone was telling me the games to go. A game's gone for it. We can do a game at the end of this. I just want to make sure that everyone is kind of clear on what objection handling actually looks like, or objection prevention. So just a time objection. Any other objections that are most common? I'd actually even change. Is this a priority for you right now? Because I can kind of come off as salesy per se. I'd actually love the thing of like, okay, when people come to us, typically right on a scale of like 1 to 10, making this change too much. They're actually happy where the business is at right now. Money wouldn't make too much of a difference. Right around 10 out of 10, we're like, look, I'm happy where I am right now, but I obviously want to make this change. I obviously want to achieve more. I obviously want to get my company to XYZ result. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you kind of see yourself on that scale? And then you're giving them such an obvious thing that like they have to choose that 10, to where they say like, I am a 10. I want to make this change for myself. They're actually, it's coming out with their amount instead of you forcing it out with their amount. Does that make sense? So I'd do. Typically, when people come to us, they're on either. Put in whatever you want there in that section. Oh, etc. So like, just go off what I said there. I think that's a good way of saying it because you're actually having to come out with their amount. I have checked with my partner. I have checked my partner can be like handled very, 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 very early in the conversation. So if you go partner objection. Partner objection I actually usually handle like this. I usually say like, yes, or like, are you 100% the deciding factor of this conversation? Because typically when someone has a partner, if someone needs thought before they make the decision, it's kind of like starting your own business where you might have done all the research, you've done the YouTube videos, you've done everything and you see and it all makes sense to you. And then when you go to someone, you say like, oh, this is my idea. They're like, oh, that's cool. That's what like having someone not on this call kind of feels like. Does that make sense? So, what we would aim to do is obviously if you have a partner, if you have someone that you need to talk to before making a decision, have them on the call itself so they can actually understand exactly what you're seeing as well and can take the value that we're giving you on the call instead of having to do a second call where we're going over the same things again. Does that make sense? So you're coming across in a nice way. See the way I did that? You're coming across in a nice way to like, I don't want to waste your time. I know it is actually something that you really, really want to do. Then you actually want to converse it to your partner. They mightn't be as excited for the actual change as you are. So like have them on the actual call itself would be a goal for me. Is that possible? Or do you need someone else? Is that okay? So like kind of pass it off, don't be stern. But that's the best way I feel like it is to handle the objections because it's true. Like, everyone here has tried to start their own business, tried to start their own business at some stage, and they go to the parents or they go to a friend and like, oh, I actually really don't do this. Here's my idea, and their friend's like, nice. And then you're like, oh. It's like, because you understand everything in your head, they don't. So that's the way I kind of go about the partner objection. Okay. Yeah, they won't understand the value. Yeah, I'll drop the link to the doc at the end, Jakey. That's more expensive than I thought. This isn't really an objection, by the way. It's more expensive. It's just you didn't provide enough value throughout the actual call itself for them to see that's where it's okay. It's like someone will say $5,000 for, or $10,000 for an old 2000 Toyota might be expensive. And if you say $10,000 for a Ferrari, they're like, oh, it's a bargain. So it all comes down to the value that you provide. They won't say it's expensive if what you're actually given is worth enough value. So this isn't really an objection that you should be preventing. It should be a thing where you're like, your product's either good enough or you're you're convicted enough about your actual product itself for them to not feel like it's expensive enough or you've explained it enough. So it's more like a price objection than can they afford it and so on. So the best way to kind of guide if someone has the finances or not, whether it's B2B or B2C, it's obviously very, very different, but you'd ask the question of I just typically be like, of course, we want to get you towards like the main goals of 8, 10, 12K a month at the moment. But at the minute, how far are you kind of away from that 8, 10, 12K a month? And they'd be like, okay, I'm actually only at like 2, 3K a month. Okay, fantastic. How long have you been working that job for? Okay, I've been working that job for 6, 8, 12 months. So you can say like, okay, that's 16, 20K. Okay, perfect. And do you make many expenses or do you get to save most of that? I actually get to save most of it. I get to save a month. So you open a conversation naturally. Okay. So what you want to do first of all is say, of course, our long-term goal would be towards X, Y, Z. So whatever your number is, you know, work off. Our long-term goal would be towards X, Y, Z. Just at the moment, how far would you be away from that monthly goal with your current job / work? Gotcha. And how long have you been working there for? Cool. You want to make it very simple. So like, instead of asking like how much money do you kind of have right now to invest yourself, or word for word, it's very direct and kind of it feels very personal. Like kind of breaking it down like that, where you're like, okay, our long-term goal is just at the moment, how far would you be kind of away with your current position? And I ask in a nice tonality. It's all about tonality. Okay, how, like it's caring tonality. How far would you kind of be away from your monthly goal right now with your current job? Gotcha. How long have you actually been working there for? Oh, cool, like 6 months. Okay. Got it. And then do you have much expenses per month? Like you live with my parents, are you in college right now? Or what's that kind of look like? Are you lucky enough to get the sack most of it away? So look, just it's all internality as well. That makes sense. It's B2B, B2C. You can just change it up. So if it's a business owner, you just say, what did I say, John? So how far are you away from your monthly goal at the moment with the current income from whatever work they do? Just change it up. That's what I'm saying, like work or their current, whatever the business is. Just think on your feet and switch up the position to whether it's B2B, B2C. Any other objections you guys want objection prevention questions on? This could be as an SDR if you're on the phone with someone, or if you're DM setting, or it could be general sales calls. They're all just questions. They're all questions to avoid objections at the end of your pitch. So the last thing you want as a salesperson is when you say, okay, in fact, this is my price. After everything you've said, this is the price. Good, are you ready to rock? I don't know if I have time, or I'll talk to my partner. It's actually more expensive than I thought. These are ways of avoiding them objections coming up by asking the questions for them to actually say out of their own mouth that there's not an objection before it happens. Okay, so you want to avoid all of them before you get to the end of sales call. That's the goal. Not enough case studies. Okay, got it. Not enough case studies is a unique one. I haven't got to use this much myself since we're in educate, and I don't really come across that too often. But okay, so if you're working with a business or a contractor, as George said,
all my team has done. This is what my team has done in the past.
so either one, leverage. Most of you won't be working alone, like direct, like as in your own agency, nobody else, just you. Most of you will have some sort of contractor there, even in the background, ready to take action. So what I'd recommend the most is anyone who doesn't have a contractor, get one in the background, have them there, and yet again, you can just use his results. Because if they do end up working with you, you'll be working with that contractor anyway. So you might as well have his results that you can leverage in the actual sales call itself. I'd leverage that as much as possible, get as many screenshots as you can, because they will have loads. And then if you're working with like a sales team like Educate, and of course you will have case studies somewhere, so make sure you get your hands on them. But not enough case studies kind of comes down to a lack of trust in what you're doing. So yet again, be as convicted as possible. No ums and ahs. The OGs will know what I'm talking about. We'll do a game at the end. No ums and ahs. Be convicted in what you're saying, because not enough case studies are like, oh, I don't know if you can do this for me. Is not doesn't come down to you're not showing them, and it comes down to them not trusting you to get the results for some reason. So be convicted, be professional, and that shouldn't happen, to be honest. But if it does, leverage your contractor as much as possible. Do you even talk about objections in cold calls? You don't talk about objections, J&D media. Do you kind of understand what we're talking about, J&D? Does it all make sense for you? And if not, what doesn't make sense? We'll kind of clear it up. Any more objections that you feel like? Can you give me some directions or ways on how to improve my sales skills during 2 hours per day that I've reserved for improving sales? Currently, I'm training monologue in front of the mirror and my role play partner. I think people overcomplicate sales a lot. I think it all comes down to genuinely being a good person, having good intentions, personality, your cadence. and then understanding people more psychologically than you would sales tactics. Okay, so the biggest thing, my mother's a closer. The biggest thing that we always talk about is, personally, I hate all sales tactics or trying to sneakily do this and this and this and this. I think the best thing you can personally do is understand who you're talking to, understand your client. Okay, so for example, like, people are like, oh, I'm going to do this tactic to get around this person. Generally, if you look more into psychology of people and understanding people, so Christoph, my biggest advice is for you to talk to as many people as possible. Okay, as in regards to, don't just talk to one role play partner, talk to fucking like 40 and have genuine conversations. Okay, because everyone will be different. If you're sticking with one person, you're going to use that one person, and then when you go to someone else, they're like, yeah, this person is a bit different. Then you're not utilizing psychology. Okay, so personally, for me, what's worked best for me and why like I'm good at what I do is because I've had so many conversations with so many different personality types that I know what each personality is thinking at each and every moment. Okay, so if a certain nervous person I'm on the call, I'll know they'll need more. They'll need more warming up. They need me to feel like I'm their brother. Okay, they need me to feel like I'm actually there for them. I'm by their side. Rather, people who come in that are extremely confident, know exactly what they're talking about, have a business already, I need to be more extremely professional, extremely authority based. You have to switch up who you are and your personality and your cadence and all that, completely based around your actual client itself. So my biggest advice is getting as many cold calls as possible, or getting as many different role plays as possible, different personalities. Because the more you understand people, the more you understand sales and how to actually talk and negotiate with people. So negotiation. And can we go over creating the gap, please? I think I have a Google Doc, if I'm correct. If everyone of creating the gap. I think we did it a long time ago. Let me try to find it. I don't know if we saved it. We can finally go over this again. The books I recommend for psychology. You've your first closer call tomorrow. Nice. Books on psychology. Yet again, I don't even think it's a book thing, but I think it's literally talking to as many people as possible and actually genuinely trying to understand each person. I'm not a huge book guy, to be honest. But maybe it's come like more natural to my personality type to understand people more that way. So there's a lot of psychology books out there. How to Win Friends and Influence People is a great one. How to like relate to people is a great book. So I'd start there maybe. Okay. I'm going to shift over to the gap. And this is one that most of you will remember. Okay. So to sum it up, Melissa, as simple as possible, a gap is you asking the right questions in current state to make them realize how stuck they are and where they are. Okay, so give me an example. Who do you work for? So you have your first closer call tomorrow. So let's kind of run through this, and people can take this. People can take this and apply it back to their own. It's an aesthetic clinic, beauty clinic. Okay, cool. Pretty sure we have a beauty clinic here. Can we have a cold call beauty clinic thing? That's not good enough. aesthetic clinic. What even is an aesthetic clinic? Is that like lip filler? All that stuff. Cosmetic. Nice. Woo. Okay, fantastic. So let me go back to this. I'm actually going to share this doc and I'll kind of run through it because I think you change it up and apply what you want to apply. But I think this doc is extremely good for the framework of a closing call. Okay, I'll explain why in a second. Closing call framework. Okay, so I'll explain it, Melissa, so, and to everyone else, so when you're actually presenting it, you know how to present it, and not just reading from the... Okay, so you want to remember some normal things. Obviously, the agenda has to pre-frame, is you kind of setting the tone of the call, where it's going to go and so on. So I teach the personal kind of smooth approach of future pacing. Okay, so like always using words that already predict or already say that X, Y, Z is done. Okay, be a friend, not a salesperson. Use tonality and cadence. Okay. So I'll be like perfect list and hop into things. I know you came from email ads or whatever kind of source you want. So I know you came from Facebook ads. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. Fantastic. So I kind of want to just get a quick temp check, an idea how I want to go about this call. So most people that come to me from Facebook ads are either 1 or 2 ends of the scale. Okay? So they're either a 1 out of 10. You know, I don't really want to be here. I don't really know why I'm here. I don't really care that much. Okay. And then there's a 10 out of 10. The other end of the scale, which is pretty much ready for action. I feel like this is the thing for me. I just have 1 or 2 questions on my end to move forward, and before I move forward, for clarity in my end. Is that okay? Which one of the scale are you? And they'll be like, okay, I'm actually pretty much more towards the 10. Okay. And the reason you ask these questions, we talked about this before, so it might just be refreshing your mind for some people here. But the reason we say like, okay, we'll go out to the very beginning of the suite. So I want a quick temp check just to get an idea on how to go about this call. Okay. So when you get to temp check, you're giving them a 1 out of 10, which is like they're never going to be the 1 out of 10. You're describing like the bottom of the barrel lead they will never get in the call. Okay. And a 10 out of 10 you're describing is going to be like an average lead, but they're going to be thinking that they're a 10 out of 10 because you told them they're 10 out of 10. Okay. So you say most people who I've seen come from Facebook ads are either 1 of 2 ends of the scale. Okay. When you say most people who I've seen come from Facebook ads, that puts you on a level of authority naturally, subconsciously to them, because you're saying most people who, as in you're saying you're very experienced in what you're doing. Okay. So people who have seen come from Facebook ads. So they're assuming that you see people coming from different directions all the time, but most of them that you've seen from Facebook ads, this is what you do. Okay. So they're either a 1 out of 10 as in I don't want to be here kind of stuff. Okay. You say whatever you want to you say whatever you want to say there. Okay. Or they're a 10 out of 10. Pretty much ready for action. This is the thing for me. But obviously it's an investment in itself. So I want to make sure I 1 or 2 questions answered by end for clarity before moving forward. Okay. Whereabouts in the scale do you feel at the moment? 10 out of 10 is just every single lead that comes onto a sales call ever. So they're going to say like, oh, and I'm like an 8 or 9 or 10. Okay. Fantastic. So what I want to do then in that sense is, of course, shoot you a few questions your way and get to know you a bit more personally. And if all this doesn't make sense, then what we'll do on the last 5 or 10 minutes of this call is get you properly on board. Is that fair enough? Okay. Obviously, slow down. I'm trying to rush through this, but what I'll do at the end of this call is if all makes sense, we'll just get you properly on board. Yeah. So what's that doing again is future pacing. So you're saying we will do this. We will the last 5 or 10 minutes get you on board. Okay, if it's all cool. Is that cool? Okay. So yet again, it's all tonality, it's all cadence of like it's okay. Like you're caring sort of tonality coming out your mouth. Okay. That makes sense so far, Melissa. Neurosailing, the body keeps the score. Okay, then your current state and your future state questions. The goal of your current state questions, yet again, is to make them realize where they're at right now and where they need you. So ask important questions in regards to your niche. I'm not sure what they would be. I haven't worked in a aesthetic clinic yet, so you know what questions that you need to ask them why it's affecting them on a daily basis and so on, and why they feel like they need this now more than ever. Okay, future state would be the admired outcome. Okay, so if it's all done, if it all goes fantastic, what would they gain from this? What is the future goals? What did they get from it? Okay, and then your gap is then built. Okay, then we put this in last week because this works like gold. Okay, so it sounds like you've thought about this a lot. It sounds very, very important to make the changes in your life. You've been thinking about this for X months, so you want to get that back in current state. Okay, so how long have you been thinking about getting a lip filler or whatever the fuck you're getting? Okay, you're thinking about this for X months. What's been holding you back from starting getting lips done in the last 6 months? And then they'll give you the reasons of procrastination. So they'll say time or finances or my husband doesn't want me to get them done or whatever it is. And then you say like, oh, I get that, of course. You know, a lot of people I talk to on these calls are actually in their 30s, for example. Okay, so we always say an age is 5 years older than the person we're talking to, just to make them feel more comfortable. Okay, so we say like, okay, let's say she's in her 20s, she's 25. They're always towards her late 20s or their early 30s. If you were to guess, what would you say their biggest regret is when I'm talking to them? Okay, then you'd be like, oh, they wish they got them done earlier. You know, they wish they got them done when they were younger. Okay. I'd be like, yeah, fantastic. Like, of course, like every person who I talk to on a daily basis is like, I wish I got these done when I was like 22, 23, 24. But you know, whether it was due to insecurity or procrastination or due to finances not being the right time or whatever you list out your reasons of procrastination it could be. But personally, do you feel like you've hit that point in your life right now where you're ready to put these excuses aside and make this work with the opportunities there? Okay, obviously structure that towards the cosmetic industry, but yet again, do you feel like you've hit this point where you're ready to put these excuses aside and make this work with the opportunities truly there now? And 99% of the time, I can't say enough, 99% of the time, everyone's like, you know what, I'm ready to put these excuses aside, I'm ready to go. Okay. Then you say like, I love that. The majority of people that we work with have also felt the same at some stage. They've always felt blah, 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 blah. You kind of go down that route, just reaffirm like a majority of people have felt your way. Don't worry about it. Okay. So what we'll do right now is I'll show you how it works. So I'll show you the offer, blah, 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 blah. And then if everything makes sense, we'll get you properly onboarded after that, or we'll get you started in whatever it is, okay? And then we say, do you have anything else in your mind before we hop into the actual presentation itself? You want to avoid any last minute questions at all and answer them on the spot, because when you get into your pitch, the last thing you want to do is have something come up after your pitch. Okay. The worst thing, any closer in here will know the worst thing, anything that can happen, if something comes up after your pitch, okay, but I have to do this, or okay, what about this, or have you done this before, blah, blah, blah. Anything else on your mind before we go into the presentation? Is there anything else? Okay, I have this. Okay, perfect. Anything else? So you stack up the question. Don't answer the question straight away. Be like, okay, that's the question. Okay, write it down. Anything else? One more. Okay. Write down. Anything else? Oh, that's all. Okay, perfect. Answer them 3 questions. Does that all make sense? Perfect. Presentation. Okay. Don't make it a big, huge deal of like a huge gap of where you are right now in the presentation. Just kind of merge them together. Anything else framework is what we call it. Okay. Ask them any questions that might get in the way of your toes. Get them out of the way. When the pitch comes, money. Okay. What's up, squad? What's up, JJ? Do you usually do Zoom? Do you usually call Zoom over the phone? Hit your 15-minute call. If it's a cold call, obviously over the phone. If it's a setup call, I think Zoom's always best. Okay, yeah, you get it. Sorry, I only see this now. Yeah, so it's fair marketing agency. Yeah, okay, got it. It's probably easier than it's probably more word for word than would have been. I thought you were like a cosmetic clinic trying to sign up for subscriptions or something. I'm not sure what it was. Look, the background row, I know it's good. I won't lie, but Jake and Mario are in here during the day sometimes, so I need to organize my room to be an office as well. Let me have this guy here. I can't wait to go to the gym. Someone said W. George, Joshua LaGrange. Said W. George. W. Joshua. Okay. Tell him to take off his shirt. What's the JJ say? JJ. Take off your shirt, man. Take it off. Huh?
Everyone very few.
Question about cold calling. Is it better to tell them straight away that it's a cold call, or is it better just to have a script to hook them? For example, would you be able to handle X amount this month? I always kind of recommend it against saying it's a cold call, just because I feel like it's become too common right now. The last thing you want to do, I told one of my students this before, Melissa. She's not here. It's different, Melissa. What you should do with cold call, what I recommend the most is generally messing about as much as possible. So like having as much fun as possible, take the seriousness out of your conversation on the call, and use different approaches, like mess around. Okay, so with the cold call, saying it's a cold call, everyone nowadays says it's a cold call. It's just a cold call. Gone. Where's my cold call script here? This is something that we did before, which was actually quite fun. Where is this? Does anybody have the link to that? Cold call. No, I have it here. So I'll share this, and some of you will be like, "What the hell?" But this is what's going to work best for cold calling. I guarantee it. So you do your intro, whatever it is. Hey, is this George? Yeah, it's George. That's so nice to meet you. It's just James from wherever you're from. Straight away, oh, we've got too much work on, or don't lie interested. Whatever it is, completely get it. We're passing around also. I can imagine you're back to back with things as well. The goal of me calling you is actually to estimate that and get you to a stage where you don't have to be overwhelmed busy with 2 stage 3 again. Okay. So like what we do here, you're going to see a pattern when I go through it. What we do here is we agree with them, we bring back the actual authority in the conversation as well, and then we try to have some fun, and then we bring it back to the seriousness. Okay, so if you have too much to work on, yeah, Scott, we're actually just on a project with XYZ. Okay, so you name someone down the road. Okay, we're actually doing a project with George's mother down the road. Okay, they had the same issues at the very beginning, being overwhelmed with workload and wanting to scale and so on, but also make more profit at the same time. I'm assuming you probably get a couple of calls a day from smaller agencies offering you to do this, but haven't seen the success yet. Would that be right? So you're flipping the question, you're flipping the framework. You're asking them a question. Would that be right? You get like loads of these calls a day. Would that be correct? Oh yeah, you get loads of these calls a day. Then take the call the way you want to take it. Okay. So when you say smaller agencies, you're making yourself sound like you're the biggest agency in the world right now. So that will work for you as well. I'm busy. Okay, I'm busy. Got it. Really. We're actually back to now right now, so I can actually imagine you're back to back things as well. No worries. And the one we call you today is actually to eliminate that and to get you to a stage where you won't be overwhelmed on a Tuesday at 3 p.m. and the time they call. Or rather playing golf or something. Okay. Having a laugh there. Rather playing golf or something. Okay, and I said be smart with your niche. You wouldn't say that to someone who's in the cosmetic niche because they wouldn't be playing golf. Say something that ladies do. I don't know what ladies do in this right now. Okay, lip filler, that's true. go for a spa or something, whatever it is. You open this 2 minutes and you're in to see if we can make that possible for you. Yet again, cold calls are difficult because 90% of people you get through will just hang up anyway, but try to have as much fun as possible because the more serious you are, the more sales you are. The more sales you are, the more red flags are raised for them, the more likely they're actually to just drop the phone. So try not to sound like every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the world. I'll share this as well. won't let me share that for some reason. Anybody who wants that, just hit me up on Instagram and send it over to you. And Bennett, my man. Two call close, intro and demo. Oh, nice. Good. What's your Instagram? I'll put it in the chat. Jordan's good, bro. If the client starts asking price and other details that are meant for the demo call and the intro call, should we just let them know that we'll discuss that at a later time or dive into the intro call? Great question, Jan. It often obviously does happen as well. So what I would typically do, or what I would do if I was in your position, what are you hitting today, Jim? What I would do if I was in your position is say, like, of course, I know 100% you're obviously eager to get the price, and it's probably annoying that I'm not giving you a direct signal right now or a direct number right now, but there's really so many different options for different price points and different companies at different statures. So I actually really just need to know a bit more information so I can give you the most accurate guess possible. Is that fair enough? Can I ask you just a couple of more questions just to make sure that I'm giving you an accurate one instead of showing you a random number that doesn't make sense? So I'd handle it somewhat like that, okay? Just be understanding and say, like, I know it's annoying, you probably want it straight away, but there's just so many different options I can give to you. It really depends, because we work with companies that are XYZ and we work with companies that are XYZ. And I don't know which end of the scale that you are right now, so I just need to ask you a couple of more questions. Is that cool? And then go from there.
I think like you're going to say, I want to go away and speak to the team as well and check that this is really like my results from a results standpoint, and then I can come back to you with that.
Yeah. So George said, like, I want to go basically to the team, make sure that we're giving you the results that you want to be given, and if all does make sense, then I'll come back to you with a price point. Is that fair? And then go from there. How do you master tonality in cold calling? I think put yourself in their shoes. What would they want to hear? What would be most confident to them in that position? Just generally care as well. Don't take the money out of the game. Generally be a person who's generally interested in what they're saying. And when you just eliminate the whole like money factor, that you're just there for the money, and that you actually are there to generally help them get the results, you will generally care about what you're asking. Is that true? Or like, whatever the question is, if you genuinely care about asking it, your tonality will come naturally true. I'm listening to your recordings with advice. Oh, that water is so good. Seriously. James, in a cold game and the prospect tells, oh, interesting, thank you for reaching out. What should I tell? Cold DMs. Well, the prospect says not interested. Just not much coming back. Voice notes are good. We're in Spain. Voice notes are good. The last throw of the ball, and I'm just thinking of this at the top of my head, would be like, yeah, got it. I don't want to annoy you with something that you're not interested in. Obviously, you're in this line of work as well. What would be something that you actually would be interested in that I can maybe help you out with? Like, what are you actually looking for right now to get your business to 𝑋YZ base? Is what's coming to the top of my mind. So they can't flip it. Just agree with them. Say like 100%. If that doesn't make sense, of course I get it. It's not for everybody. Obviously, you're in this line of work that we're in as well. So what are you actually looking for right now? Or are you actually happy? Are you content with where you're at and with your business right now? Or do you actually feel like you want to grow in which direction? Just so I can see if we can help you or not. Yeah. I sounded like someone just got shot. So land the 𝐵𝐁. Whereabouts in Spain? Marbella. Here's my address. I've been reaching out to small law, going nearly in my bed, and you're not. And that actually sounds like a gunshot. I'm not even messing. I'm on our way. Well, if you're ever down in Port-News, or if you're down in Port-News this week, we can definitely do a coffee or something, Jake. 100% I'm down for that. You can come to the house, check the crib out. If you want. I've been reaching out to small law firms from the agency. How would you recommend I get my secretary pick up the phone to allow me to talk to the owner of the law firm? Usually get 10 lawyers. We always recommend to just try cheeky things, saying that you already know the lawyer. They're just calling them back. It's not easy, to be honest. Then there's no like correct answer for that question. You just have to try and mess around with a few things. Be as least salesy as possible. Say you're just done the deal with. Okay, so what I would do, so get the law firm on the road, or get their biggest competition. Say we just done a project with this law firm. You want to make sure that your law firm is actually competing with them and we don't fall behind. And this is actually kind of urgent. Can I talk to your lawyer now? Is he available? So make it sound like it's an emergency. Does that make sense? That's a good angle, actually, I think. I don't collect leads myself. No. Man, shut up, man. Get your head in the game. Oh, I need to play darts. And the darts will be on till 11 as well. Jake wants to watch the darts today. I want to the gym. What should we say to Jake? I'm not against that. I'm not against that. No, I'm not. I know. I'll just talk about it. The gym is open to the 11. It starts at 7:30. No, it's at 8:30 because it's fucking Portuguese. Let's go now. We're hitting we're hitting like kind of a CrossFit sort of stuff at the minute. That'd be correct. Upper. Oh, I thought you were hitting like one of those sessions. No. We're training for a high rock, so yeah, paddle club. Check. We need to get our membership today. Get some protein into us. Okay, is there anything else urgent? Because obviously the hour is up, but is there anything else urgent we can answer? If not, I'm going to wish you guys the best of luck this week. And keep crushing, keep hustling. Alex Ashton, my man. Oh, we didn't do the game, that's right. You didn't remind me in time. Should I be using the little raise for my demo calls? A little raise. Something else. Oh, man, you always have to be dropping game. Stupid question. If you're not dropping game, what are you doing? You always have to have that charisma about you. You can't just be boring. Give him the little riz, Joshua. Like range. The riz. No, I'm genuinely being serious. You can tell me stop all you want, but no, I actually won't be dead, Jake. We're going to be dialed. Game is game. Respect the game. No, seriously, like, the more charismatic you are on a call, more relatable you are to that person. Someone that like they would look up to or want to be friends with. And that all comes with like the game. You can be a bit. It's a bit weird. I'm not saying be flirtatious. I'm just saying drop some serious game. And no, seriously, all jokes aside, like don't be flirtatious is a bad word.
as you said, like charismatic,
Charismatic, yeah.
like compliment them,
Yeah.
things like that. But yeah, don't be weird.
Hey, don't be weird.
They're not-
You look very hot today. Don't do that. Me and Jake and Jordan are dropping the Rizzonomics program soon, so keep an eye out. Iman's making an event just for our Rizzonomics. Or Rizzlers. I'll show you how to drop the best game ever. Go on live in the streets of Margaret. Like HS. Was he in Margaret? That's where he was. That's where he was when he did the thing. Anyways, I think we're all good here. Too easy. I think we're all good here. Any extra questions during the week? Obviously, my Instagram is there if any of you need it. George Box is there as well. You need it too. So, appreciate you all for showing up. The Google Docs are in the chat as well. And if you need any extra Google Docs, same as hit me up all you want. And yeah, chat to you all next week. Yeah, gym lesson with Georgie. So. Great day and an amazing New Year. Yeah, you too. Happy New Year to every single person here. Keep hustling. See you soon. No, I think you need